What's up, my friend? Mike Robertson here. And today I want to talk to you about exercise progression across your training blocks. Now, this is something that may be frowned upon in certain areas of our community. A lot of times people are going to say, oh, well, you'll never know what somebody's going to be ready for at a certain point in time. And I totally get that. You never know how fast somebody's going to learn a specific exercise or an activity. Some people learn things very quickly in a session or two. Other clients and athletes need weeks, if not months, to learn even basic movement patterns, and that's fine. But I think it behooves us to have some idea as to where somebody's starting and where we want them to go in their ensuing training block. So this is something I've been doing quite a bit here lately. Instead of just writing that first training block and being like, okay, let's see where we go from here, kind of having an idea as to where I want this person to be in the next 2, 3, 4, 5 months or training blocks. So here's an example. Let's say I've got somebody coming in, basketball player, because I got a lot of basketball guys right now, and they are really struggling to squat. Maybe they struggle to change levels. Maybe they have some movement restrictions in their ankles, their hips, that's precluding them from moving the way that we want. Or maybe they just need a total body kind of overhaul as far as how they're moving and how they're feeling. So what I'll do, and you can do it in Excel, you can do it in Word, I don't care how you do it, you can do it on a whiteboard for all I care. But basically lay out the ideal progression that you would have this person go through. And this is actually something I'm using with a young man right now. He's coming off a knee issue, so my job is to try and, number one, get him to move and feel better first. And then I have a certain amount of time before he has to be ready and go out and play basketball at a high level again. So I know early on, if I can't teach him to squat, we're gonna have issues down the line. So I'm going to take a couple steps back from what he's currently doing, and we are going to pattern the heck out of this guy's squat. So we're going to start with a plate squat. Literally in the first session or two, he was killing it, so we moved on to a goblet squat. So I know I've got to pattern that squat in month 1. In ensuing blocks, I know patterning isn't enough. There's high forces involved in most sports. So I'm going to need an activity that allows him to maintain the same kind of movement quality with also adding in a little bit more force development. It's going to help him load the body a little bit more. So for this gentleman, I picked a 2 kettlebell front squat because I know based on his body type and the way he moves that I think this is going to be a good choice for him. And then the final phase, we know he's going to go and he's going to play basketball at a high level, lots of heavy stops, starts, accelerations, decelerations. So in this case, I'm going to pick something from this realm depending on what I think he needs at that point. Maybe we're going to do some heavy isometrics, just working on pushing as hard as possible, generating some force. Maybe we're going to do some accommodating resistance with bands or chains or something of that nature. Maybe we're going to use something like the Exerfly, which is a tool that I've been using a ton here lately with my clients and athletes to help them not only produce force very quickly, but also work on absorbing or distributing forces evenly as well. So I know this is kind of a basic concept, but I think this is something where if you start thinking about your progression across blocks, not just going one training block at a time, but trying to think big picture early on when you're writing a program, you're not only going to have more seamless transitions, but as a result, your clients and your athletes are going to get a lot better results. So I hope you liked the video. If you have any questions, any comments, leave them below. I'm happy to help.